gonna have to reset that one.
Are we okay? Go
Gotta
ahead.
love a live show, guys.
Dude, totally love it, right? And I think I've known you maybe even longer than 20.
I think just about, yeah. Let's say you and I met when I was working with Shimano, and we just came out with Kotow 300.
I mean, that long ago. Long time ago.
Yeah, that's when you and I met. So when that thing first came out, gosh, I can't even remember how long that's been.
Yeah,
it's a blur.
But so your travels have taken you like, I mean, you're like the jigging expert.
Well, I always tell people I'm not an expert. I just I'm experienced.
There you go.
So not an expert, just experience. And what I offer are my opinions, but they are experienced opinions, is what they are.
Well, I could tell you this. Whenever you're on, I love listening to you.
I appreciate it.
You carry an enthusiasm, you have the knowledge, and you love sharing it.
I love it. Yeah. It's what I live. It's what I live for.
Yeah,
it's what I live for.
But you're a great bait fisherman. You've got the knowledge of popper fishing.
You do it all. You know, I'm not good. I'm not the best at any one thing. Hell, I'm not even good at any one thing. But I can check off most of the things on that list. I mean, I remember when you came out with the slug.
Right.
Or it had that. And remember, we went fishing together on your boat. You know, because my mind is always open, and my eyes are always open, my ears are always open. I never close off to anything. I just know that if I can cast and I follow directions, you didn't have to guide me through any of that for any more than 5 minutes. You know, to show me how to rig them, and then we had a great time. So I think adaptability has always been one of my strengths, as well as the fact that I am not, I wasn't born naturally talented, so I had to work 10 times harder than everyone just to get close.
Oh no, I think you just love fishing. Period.
Yeah,
man.
I do.
So what's your favorite? I mean, tuna fishing, probably your.
No, believe it or not, my favorite has always been and will continue to be calico bass fishing.
Come on, yeah. All right.
Yeah, I love calico bass fishing. I like yellows too.
Yeah.
So I would say that those would be the two. I do enjoy tuna fishing. I like. I don't know how to put this, but I love it when it's challenging.
Right.
I love the character building tuna trips, and you really have to angle, and you have to really pay attention to what's going on. And I like pushing myself.
You know what's something that's really caught my attention in the last few years is that whole jigging thing.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
That gets bites when nothing else seems to like. I mean, there might be a pick of a few fish, but dude, you drop. I mean, I hear the stories and also from you, and it all comes together.
Everybody can use bait, but bait isn't always the answer. And what I like about doing artificials, it's a reaction bite for one. It's two, you cover more ground.
Yeah.
Right. You can work a water column, you can work the depth, you can work, and that reaction bite, it just gets them so excited. It's finding the right tool to get them there. That's always been the trick. So whether or not you're using a swim bait, you're using a hard jig, you go vertical, you go slow pitch, fast, it's finding the one that works.
Yeah.
Right. That's why we have all these tools in the arsenal. Yeah. And I love that. That to me is why I love fishing. It's that science of trying to figure out what's going to work.
Yeah, and that one it does. There's a lot of experimentation that goes on, and there's a lot of downgrading that actually happens.
Downgrading line or jig size?
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah. Like I'll give you an example. I unless the boat tells me, okay, I like to have as many hooks as possible. Believe me, if I can have my jig looking like a hook buffet, I probably would do it. But the thing is obviously if the boats tell you no, then that's fine too. Here's what I will do, or when I say downgrading, I'll have a jig, for example, that has all the hooks on it that you can imagine. And if I'm having a hard time getting bit, I keep on downgrading. I'll remove hooks and keep on doing that because it does affect the presentation of the jigs. So if I have twin assist hooks on the top and twin assist hooks on the bottom, you'll see me sometimes I'll remove the top, or sometimes I will keep on going where I'll go 1 and 1. I'll remove the one on the bottom sometimes and just run one hook on the top. And then we start to work on the line size. Now, it's not maybe as important. You don't have to do this as much at night. But it's that daytime game where you're constantly looking to see how you can affect the presentation. And ideally, we start off as heavy as possible. You know, I like to say we get them with the Metallica first, and then see if we can't work them into the Kenny G at the end. But so
a good way to put it.
Yeah. So that's kind of those are a lot of the ways that we downgrade, even on the rods. You know, you take a rod that's rated for a particular line rating, say a PE 4 to 8 that you can PE 6 to 10, which is what we fish a lot at night. Now the 6 to 10, a 300 gram, it'll jig just fine, or it'll activate is what I like to use that word. But you switch it over to a PE 4 to 8, which is the next level down on rod size, and it will activate the 300 gram even better.
Really?
You see, so that's how we keep on I guess adapting and downgrading, if you will. I call it downgrading to upgrade.
That makes sense.
And so that's the way that it goes in the world of jigging. So every little bit makes a difference. Take a look at the slow pitch guys. I mean, for them, it's unheard of to fish of any braid that's heavier than 50 pound, because they're every little bit of drag. Anything.
And think about that. Think about that line size. We're talking 50-pound braid, which used to be 10-pound mono size, right? Approximately. And they're going down to 20, 30 pound. It's thread.
Yeah.
Literally thread. Right. And they're saying that affects, but when you're in the slow pitch and you're using such a small jig, you get it, right? Every bit affects the flutter. Now, the question is, not only are you doing the braid, but what are you using for a leader? Is it a long leader, short leader, mono, fluorocarbon?
Yeah.
All that makes a difference too.
Big difference. And so, that's, so there is a big difference, of course, as well. I get a lot of questions sometimes. Hey, Brian, what's a good slow pitch rig for bluefin tuna fishing at night? I says none. Because we're not using slow pitch gear, right? It is jigging gear. I guess by today's standards, we could call it the speed jigging gear or the heavier equipment. But slow pitch, when you take a look at what they're doing with that, you're all the 3 Bs it'll work for. And but if you tie into a bluefin on it, maybe one of say 40 pounds or less, you probably be okay. And there are success stories out there of a guy going in there and catching 100-pounders on it. I wouldn't want to do it on the slow pitch.
Well, you heard yesterday the tribute, right? Mike called it in. He's like, yeah, we're into this little schooly 20-pound fish, and everybody's pulled down to their 20, 25 pound.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a 40. Oop, there's a bigger one, and zing pow, right?
Right, exactly.
The question is, you roll up to the rail and you're coming up to a school of fish.
Yeah.
You don't know what's on there. What do you grab?
I tell people popper fishing in my seminar, popper fishing on sport boats. I said, the luxury of popper fishing is you get to choose what you cast to. I says, you know what's the worst part? To go, what? I says, what you actually can't decide what comes up and bites it.
Yeah.
So you can see a school of 40 pounders and you're like, man, I've got them. And then out of nowhere, I had that happen on a 16 day on the Star one year. I thought we were thinking it was small fish. I think at that time we were prototyping the Shimano, the Torsa, when I was working with Shimano, the Torsa 40. And so I says, they're not very big. So I threw that out. And I saw the boil come up on the sardine. Yeah. I think we were outside of the buffer zone, or way outside of the buffer zone. And I got the splash on that thing was huge. And that was it. I got smoked. That's the first time ever that I got smoked on a reel. And you can say drag and do that, but I'm telling you right now, there was not even time to think about drags
when they double spool.
Yeah,
I was down in Clarion on a 14-day, brand spanking new when Penn came out with that 16 DSX, right? Yeah. And I had it, and we were under 100-pound fish, no problem. And everybody's like 30 wides, 50s, back then. And I dropped that 16 back, and it got picked up.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, that spool dump. I had to call for a backup on a brand new 16 in the water. And, when you go back up on that, it's like, oh, man, now what? Because the backup back then were Penn Senators, right?
Did you make sure, Wayne, on that fish, you pushed the lever up?
Oh, it was.
Sorry, guys. We've known each other for way too long. I'm going to try. Yeah. We're going to try to keep it calm here.
Yeah. Try to keep it on the rails, right? Oh, too funny.
Oh, man, yeah. That's the stories that could be told from the fishing, right?
Yeah.
Where you just make that mistake. The thing that I like is I like the artificial because I'm going to throw heavy first because I can work water column, right? I can get it up. If it's a surface spot, I can throw it and pull it across. But if it's not, I can let it sink out a little bit. It'll flutter down. The question is, nowadays we're using all the slow pitch and we're on the faster and everything is twin assist hook.
Yeah.
When do you switch from the treble hook to the assist hooks, right? Yeah. But if you're pulling a jig, it's always going to be the treble. I that's what I run. But when do you not? Why can't you have a treble on the bottom and assist on the top?
Well, you know, when we're the reason why I would I don't go out and tell anybody to, hey, just be like strictly speed jigging, you know, bring nothing but those outfits. I think that one of the best ways to speak on that would be what we were talking about earlier, where we said, hey, when sometimes there are going to be those nights and those days where you just have to get a bite, you know, is what I like to say. And you're going to have to apply a little bit more finesse. The gear might look like it's finesse. You see the rods are real thin and the small reels. They're actually quite powerful for what they are.
Absolutely.
So as far as your question is concerned, well, when do we go with a treble? Well, why don't we use the treble? Well, here's the thing. When I fish, I prepare for when they're not going to bite well. You see, that way, even though if they do bite well, then lucky me, and they'll still eat whatever it is that I'm putting in front of their faces. But the treble hook, it does change action. Now, when we talk about action, there can be people that will they'll call in the day and they'll tell me about eddy bombs. Well, yeah, that's nighttime. And nighttime, the emphasis, in my opinion, is more a timing thing. You select the size and the weight jigs and things like that and the profile, not based on necessarily action, not to say that it doesn't matter, but it's really timing. But that treble hook, you got to kind of think about, you've got this kind of, you know, we're all West Coasters here fishing the iron, and, you know, we've got that big old treble hook on the bottom. They're going to sacrifice something. So is there a chance maybe, you know, guys, I understand the reason. There's the one reason that guys like to use the treble hook is because they feel that it does slow the fish's fighting spirit down. But one of the things about the treble hook, about any of the style hooks when we're fishing those vertical jigs, is the reason for the assist hook. And a lot of people don't realize this, but, you know, when that jig is sinking, right, and you've got a welded ring, West Coast style, a welded ring with a big old, you know, Southern style tuna hook on the bottom, or a treble hook, as the jig is sinking, the hook comes swinging up and it pins itself to the jig. Now, we have no bloody clue how those things are biting them, but we just know sometimes you can have, I told you about my buffet of hooks, my dream. Sometimes they'll even miss that. Yes, you know, yes. And so you don't know. It is so. We used to think, if you guys recall, I think when this stuff started to go off in like 2016, the thought is that they track them, so they're following them down, and then once they decide to commit, well, now we figured it out that they're down there, and if depending on their mood that night, or that, you know, it'll tell you whether or not they're biting good or not, or it's going to be a character builder. But when you have that hook that's pinned to the jig, now he opens up, he flares out his gills, he opens up and he swallows the jig. And hooks in general, you hook them on the way out. Hence, when you get bit on a bait, turn the handle, right? And so if you've got the hook pinned to the jig, so what you're expecting, your hope is that as you wind up, it's going to unpin itself.
Everything falls into place.
Right.
Hopefully.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So there's that. Whereas on the assist hook with the Kevlar cord, I like to call that nature's swivel. It keeps the barb or the point of the hooks engaged a lot more. In any position, you're going to find that those barbs are engaged into that fish's mouth or wherever it is. But you have a higher probability of things lining up, as opposed to the big hooks on the bottom having to swing out. And
it's amazing to see a double assist top and bottom.
Yeah.
Where the one hook's in the mouth and the other's on the outside of the gill somewhere.
Yeah.
And it shocked the heck out of me, because you wouldn't assume that swinging hook, a single hook, swinging on the outside, would have a chance to get hooked up that way. The odds of it coming around and getting the barb in it seems so odd to me, right? But it's because I think when we're fighting the fish, they're shaking their head and they're ramming that jig against their head.
Yeah,
right.
And
it's a secondary.
It's a secondary. It's not the primary hook.
Completely, I see it.
Right.
Yeah, and I've had it where the bottom hooks only, and like I said, guys, I'm like the last one to ever complain. You tell me what to do, and I'm good. But I go with bottom hooks only, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm good. you know, and then what happens? I get bit. I wind up the jig. I got a gash mark on the top.
Just go figure, right?
Yeah. So,
well, technically, right? What do they say? A fish swallows a fish head first.
Yeah,
they try.
Well,
right?
I mean,
they try. That's school of thought.
Yeah.
The other side of it is this is just from the sport boat side. If you have to work on the sport boat and you're the guy that's bringing up and having to unhook the fish, and you got those big jigs and you got a hook on the top and the bottom, they don't like it because then you got a swinging hook sometimes.
That's right.
And on a hot fish, and it's dangerous, right?
Yep.
So they tell you, please only put it either top or bottom. From the sport boat guy working on a boat, I understand the safety side of that.
And I will abide.
Right? Exactly. Yep. Hey, we're stoked to have you in studio.
Oh, thank you.
Good friend.
I'm happy to be here.
Of ours, good friend of the show. And we're stoked to have you for the next 2 hours, man. And if anybody wants to join us, we're going to be on the fan. We've got Jeff waiting for your call. Hamby can be reached at 833-288-0973. That's the number there to the fan. Jeff's waiting for you. Again, 833-288-0973. I'm sure you've got a question for Brian, whether it's bait fishing, right? Popper fishing, and you even do Medicare, right? I mean, that's your main.
Yeah, that's the full-time job.
Right.
I had to leave the fishing industry after 24 years so they could grow up and get a real job.
Yeah, you actually had to go make some money. That's it, man.
Yeah, I had to do that. That's the full-time gig, guys, and
that's all good. So next 2 hours with Brian Nguyen in studio. And again, the telephone number, 833-288-0973. Or you can text us via the app. A lot of texts coming in already. And if you do so, make sure you leave your name and telephone number. At the end of the show, Brian's going to flip the prize coin. And one lucky winner is going to have a trip on the San Diego out of Seaforth. And dude, did you see their fishing yesterday?
The counts were nice yesterday. They got into the bluefin.
Right? I mean, all the full day trips and even the overnight trips and day and a half trips all had.
And the quality's coming back up.
Yes,
it's not always just a schoolie fish anymore.
Yeah, right. All had near limits of bluefin tuna, a little sprinkle of yellowfin in there.
Yellowfin, yellowtail.
Exactly. So it's all good stuff. So somebody's getting that trip on the San Diego. And explain to us the prize package that you've brought, Brian. That's going to go along with it.
Yep. So I brought a secondary prize here. I like to, because I do a lot of seminars. I call them workshops. So I do a lot of seminars. Yes. I do my own webinars that I have, as well as one-on-one sessions with folks. So I like to say that I help provide tools to the anglers for their to help them with their on-the-water success. Well, I'm going to give you a bag of tools here. These are custom wrapped, very high quality pliers.
I see duck bills in there.
Yeah, there's duck bills as well as the side cutters. So you get that set. They're wrapped with paracord, Turk's heads on the ends, and
Jose
coated.
Ortega.
Jose Ortega. Yep, you guys can.
Cool.
Yep, look, if Jose has been in the industry for as long
time.
as I have, I think.
Right.
And so he's doing these custom wrap pliers now. You can find them at Flipside Pliers. I think it's what it's called, Flipside Pliers on Instagram. And then I've got a rod ties that I made that I tied up here as well. So you're getting more tools from the guy who provides anglers tools.
How about that? So one lucky winner is going to win that, along with a trip on the San Diego. We're going to be.
And by the way, I forgot to tell you, I also have my decals that I'm giving. They are dishwasher safe.
Oh, there it is. All right. Hey, we're going to be right back on not only 97.3 The Fan, but YouTube, Facebook Live, and at Let's Talk Hookup app.
One rod has set the standard for serious saltwater anglers worldwide, and that's CalStar. From the rugged dependability of the West Coast series, the lightweight strength of the Graphiter, or the performance of the GG series, all CalStar rods are handmade right here in Southern California of the finest materials and craftsmanship. Check out the new CalStar models now available, as well as upgrades to the classic rods that you know and love. If you want your tackle to be state-of-the-art tools to get the job done right, it's CalStar at fine tackle dealers.
For local or long-range fishing, we have you covered. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. Being a part of the San Diego Sport Fishing Landing gives us a distinct advantage when it comes to getting you on the latest and hottest tackle for your trip. Our expert staff knows exactly what you need for your long-range or local trip, and we will not sell you something you don't need. We carry a huge inventory of the right tackle, So visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hi, this is Christy Wheeler with Dawson and Associates Insurance, your full-service agency specializing in boat insurance, including charter, commercial, and personal use boats, business insurance, and travel insurance. We work hard to get you the most coverage for the best prices and guarantee the lowest rates available on all the travel plans we offer. So give us a call today at Dawson and Associates Insurance at 619-460-5615 for a free quote today.
Hello, this is Captain Mike Totter from Searcher Sport Fishing. Alongside my colleague, Chef Josh Evans, and our dedicated team, we invite you to join us aboard the Searcher. Our fishing trips range from a day and a half to 8 days, available May through November, and include charter options. We're committed to upholding a legacy of top-notch customer service, delicious food, and a friendly and talented crew. Book your fishing adventure online at searchersportfishing.com or call Rachel at 619-226-2403. That's searchersportfishing.com. We look forward to welcoming you aboard.
Power your boat with Norsk Lithium, the ultimate choice for marine adventures. Our batteries deliver unmatched starting, trolling, and electronics power, packed with cutting-edge technology like Deep Sleep to eliminate phantom draw. Built with rugged BCI-compliant cases, they're designed to handle the toughest conditions on the water. Stay in control with the Norsk Guardian app. Monitor performance, track battery health, and unlock advanced features right from your phone. Charge with confidence using Evotech onboard and DC-to-DC chargers for fast, efficient, and hassle-free power management. Designed for maximum compatibility, these chargers keep your entire system running at peak performance, so you're always ready for the next trip. With a 10+ 2-year non-prorated warranty, you can trust your batteries to perform for years to come. Our industry-leading warranty ensures you get the most out of your investment, with dedicated customer support if you ever need it. Upgrade your marine power today. Set up your custom system at norsklithium.com or visit Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood. Norsk Lithium. No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And man, having Brian Nguyen in studio and the cigar aficionado, right? There it is, man. And we're giving away a full-day trip on the San Diego with a prize pack that Brian's also brought in to one lucky caller or texter. And if you want to join us, the lines are completely full at the fan, but when somebody does drop off, 833-288-0973. And if you're sending a text via the app, make sure that you do leave your name and telephone number. Sure.
If you don't put your name and phone number, you're not in for the drawing.
Like Pete says, no prize for you.
Right. Let's take a caller.
Let's do that. How about Alex? Alex calling from San Carlos. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
First, I just want to thank Brian. He's been super helpful all the time. I mean, I'll drop him a question on Instagram or give him a call, and he'll help me out with my dad's Medicare and stuff like that. So he's always just really happy to just educate everybody, which is awesome.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
I do have a quick question. You know, the other day I took out a new spinning speed jigging setup on a full day, and I mean, I didn't skimp on the gear at a Penn Authority 7500, Shimano Type J jigging rod, but there's something about it. Like I couldn't really work the jig on the spinning setup the same way I could with the conventional. And I wasn't really sure if it's just because of like the way the reels place versus on a conventional. I don't know if you can give me any feedback on that.
Yeah. I think that what's happened is believe it or not, vertical jigging with conventional gear, it's not actually conventional. The guys, when you go back east, you see that they do it they do a lot of it with spinning gear.
Even in Asia, too.
Even
right?
in Asia. Yeah. And the spinning gear it's more of a natural rhythm to it. Okay, when you're using when you're using spinning.
Is it the amount of line that you're picking up?
No, it's not that. It's actually the sheer motion of it is one. Number two, the balance of it is different. The weight being on the bottom versus the weight being on the top. So with a conventional reel. So I think what's happened to a lot of our guys is to you, Alex, is you actually you jumped ahead of the class by starting with conventional gear, which is the oddball. And so when it comes to spinning gear, something that we're not quite used to, I find myself sometimes having to catch myself on the rail when I'm using a spinner. I go, oh, wait, this is the way that it goes. So just what I would recommend is to slow down first and just start just to get the motion right, because it's a lift and a turn. It's a smooth, it's a flow to it. Whereas with a conventional gear, it's a stop and go. On spinning gear, it's a flow.
Well, here's the first question. Are you using a right-handed conventional and a left-handed retrieve on the spinning?
Yeah.
There's your no, but that's not everybody can go both hands.
Yeah.
That's why people switch the hands on the spinning to the right side, because you're training your arm to do certain motions, right? So if you are like a bass fisherman, a lot of us have switched to left-handed bass retrieve because you don't have to switch the hands. You're throwing with your right, you're spinning with your left, right? You're retrieving. So when you go to conventional and you're switching back the other way, that motion isn't necessarily the same. And so you don't feel comfortable when you're on spinning gear doing that. It's your arms are not trained that way. You might switch back to the right-handed retrieve on your spinning gear and it might feel more comfortable to you, or vice versa. Go to a left-handed retrieve on your conventional and test that.
Yeah.
Just borrow one from somebody.
To every problem, there is a solution.
Yeah.
Like for me personally, I can't fish a spinning reel with the handle on the right side. It feels very odd.
No.
But with that being said, I hope that answers your question, Alex. I would say just to slow down and get the nitty gritty of the actual jigging motion, and then you can start to work on speeding up. Because what you'll find, there is a reason why spinning is so popular, especially in the speed jigging realm. The motion itself, it's such a flow. And you can go super fast with the spinning gear, which is why, again, it's popular in Asia and every other part of most other parts of the U.S.
But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, I think the whole thing in Asia and maybe the East Coast too, but Asia for sure, they're not catching 150 80 to 150 pound tuna. Like they're targeting fish under 20 pounds. Really,
actually, they are the guys back in they're targeting jumbo
back east or in Asia.
Yeah, back east.
Back east. Okay.
And and again, one of the classes, one of the live kind of one-on-one sessions that I offer is, I call it the science and mechanics of efficient fish fighting, and we have there is a spinning element to it, and I teach folks how to fight bigger fish on spinning gear. But when the guys back east, fishing on smaller boats, they're able to position a little differently than us on a stationary vessel, such as a sport boat. So we have a couple of challenges, but we can address those challenges if we understand what it is that is going on. So the fight has never been that much of an issue for me on spinning gear, because the thing to know that we have to understand about spinning gear is that on a conventional, you can turn the handle. You get bit on a wahoo or a yellowtail, right, on the surface side, or you just everybody's hooting and hollering.
It's just second nature, right?
You can turn the handle against drag. You can't do that on spinning gear. You actually have to. I say unload the rod tip, but you have to unload the pressure off of that reel in order to get a turn on the handle. So there is a science and a mechanic to it, and that's one of the things that I teach in my one-on-one workshops that I do for free. Mind you, for free.
Right.
So
how does somebody follow you like that? I mean,
just very easy. They can go and follow me on Instagram, which is at the cigar aficionado, AFISHINADO, aficionado.
Yeah.
And as well, they can just go onto my website. I make it super easy, by the way, my website. I even took out the www portion of it. Don't type it in because it don't work. So just go mhlis.com. There are two banners on there. One says Ask Me About Medicare, and the other one says Ask Me About Fishing. Click one of them. I'll gladly answer any of those questions.
You're such an awesome guy, Brian.
I'm trying.
I'm going to say that from my heart.
I'm trying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's take another call.
Let's do that. How about Matt? Matt calling from La Mesa. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, good morning, guys. So I have a Therese rail rod, which I absolutely love. It's an awesome rod to use in the wintertime for cod fishing down at Colonet, and obviously bluefin at night up here. My question is, it's 7'2". How did you guys come to that conclusion that that was the sweet spot for a rail rod? Because back in the day, we didn't really have rail rods, and the perfect size tuna rod used to be like 5.5, 6 feet long.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, right? I mean, so I think back in the day, like when we were all younger, right? In the younger day, it was not cool to put your rod on the rail. Like,
nobody put it on the rail because of IGFA. Everybody wanted to get a world record, right? So
I
you
agree
were all
with
stand up, right? That was sin to put it on the rail. So short rods were the ticket because the one was on the bend and we were belting. Everybody put it in a belt, a harness, and all that kind of stuff to fight a fish. We've gone away from that. Nobody cares about that anymore. We put them on the rail. To put it on the rail, you need a longer rod because what happens is when the fish goes under and makes the circle, you want to keep the line away from scraping on the boat.
It just makes it more efficient with a 7 foot.
I think as well, though, there is something that I think that not maybe a lot of people don't think about. The longer the rod, the more material you have in the rod. Therefore, look at the rods these days. You mentioned the Torres, but you guys had Johnny and from CalStar on last week. The longer there's more material in them, so the power these days that these rods have versus what I still remember fishing 64, 65 double XHs as a rail rod with roller guides on them. So they're more powerful. They're lighter because of the technology, but when you have that much more material, you've got that much more working for you. So now when you're sometimes I've even seen like the rods are almost for some they're too powerful and they recoil so fast. People are getting burnt out just trying to keep up with the rod tip. Is just how amazing our technology is. But yeah, that's always been one of the things that has been in my head where I go, there's more material in them, so that means more of it is working for you when you're laying it on the laying it on the rail. So that's the 7 foot. I don't know when it became standard. I think Seeker was probably one of the first ones with that 2x4, if I'm not mistaken. And then it kept growing and kept growing again.
It started a whole new phase.
Yeah.
Right?
Now there's 7, 8 foot. Gary Tarioka is one. He likes like 8 foot extra heavy 130 or unlimited rods. And
why does that just sound so unfriendly to me? 8 plus.
At some point, it's going to be like a seesaw, and you're going to get pulled over the rail and have it too long. I'm not big enough for one of those rods.
You mentioned CalStar, and it's so awesome. Like if you listen to that show, excuse me, you can go back on the archives and listen to that show. Chris is taking CalStar to a place, I'm not going to say where they had never been, but he's taking them beyond where they could have been, right?
Yeah. He's open to all the different types and technology, and he's listening to
talking to all the boys, man.
He's one of us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're on the trips too. And he sees and he hears and he listens and he's willing to try. And that's
some
great.
of the jigging stuff they're working with too.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but one of my fondest memories of Mr. Chris Yamada was on a Clipperton trip, and he holstered up a power drill, and he had arranged to have a socket welded onto the handle of his Trinidad 20, the gold ones at that time. And he would cast his Wahoo bomb or a Wahoo jig out.
Come on.
And he lets it sink, and he puts the reel in gear. And
and it's so funny.
And as soon as he gets bit, you know that noise, right? Like he
had an impact hammer.
Yep. And then he reholster, smooth to reholster. And just turn the handle.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not kidding you.
I wish we had video of that. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
The beginning of an electric reel.
Yeah.
And the only people that had that back then were the guys on the boat because they would pull on the kite with it.
Yep.
Right, they have the drill up there, and they put a bolt on it and stuff.
Yeah,
but that would be so funny to watch Chris on the rail.
I can visualize the whole thing.
Exactly, I can too.
Yeah.
Wow. My God. Do you have a texter, Cory?
There's so many texts coming in. It's awesome and it's good. And I've got a few of them picked out for sure. And let me get the one here. This one. Good morning, Wayne, Cory, and Brian. What a ton of knowledge being thrown out in this morning's show. My question is on tungsten jigs.
Yeah.
Do you put the assist hooks on the top, bottom, or both? And do you go with a heavy 200-pound bite leader or a 100-pound top shot? Thanks, guys. It comes from Mike in San Diego.
Good question, Mike. The tungsten jigs, I typically I like the top hook, just a single or a twin top hook on them. I think that you get a better hookup ratio on that. With just the top hooks on there. And then as far as your question on the bite leaders are concerned, I think that the bite leaders, this is kind of interesting here. Bite leaders, when we use the speed jigging outfits, there is no bite leader. It's straight tied. Okay. But when I talk to people about using their rail rods for bluefin fishing, that's when I will recommend some sort of a bite leader, whatever configuration you want. I do something a little bit different where I use a short wind on leader of the whatever the bite leader I want to use. So say for example, on a rail rod, I will have a 15-foot wind on leader of 150 or 200 pound. on there. I think that the connection, without having all the swivels and things like that, it does affect the presentation. But here, the thing is on the rail rod, because when we get bit on a jigging rod, for example, okay, there is no just turn the handle on it. What happens if you just keep turning the handle, the rods, they go bend. At some point, they'll stop, and then you'll get to bury the hooks into them. But what I recommend is that when you get bit on a jigging rod, if you get bit, you have to keep, it's almost as if you're mechanically jigging them. You just can't stop. As soon as you get bit, just lift the rod and keep turning the handle as fast as you can. Now, the question that I get on that is, when do you stop? I don't know. If it comes to gaff in 10 seconds, just happy, right?
When you can't do it anymore.
You can't do it anymore.
You're happy, but the two deckhands waiting with the
no.
gaff.
Those fish come to the boat hot.
But now on a rail rod, you've got all that recoil, all this power that's going on. So when you turn the handle, it's actually keeping up. So what happens is that when you you have to almost have the bite leader, because it'll zing that fish. It'll stick that fish almost anywhere now. There's not enough time. It doesn't give the jig or the hook enough time to make its way out into an appropriate area in their mouth.
You explain things so well. It's awesome. And man, we're going to go to break, but when we come back, I want to talk more about it. We're going to be right back, and let's talk hookup, not only on 97.3 The Fan, but on YouTube, Facebook Live, and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Captain Jamie Tennis from Seasoned Sport Fishing here. For the past few seasons, a dart-styled metal jig has come into play in a big way for tuna offshore or even rockfish down deep. AFCO's crossbreed jig has quickly become the go-to for many since it came onto the market. AFCO's crossbreed jig is good to go right out of the package with a 4X treble hook, heavy-duty split rings, West Coast colors, and sizes 60 gram to 120 gram. Pick one up today at your local tackle store or learn more on afco.com.
Lobster season is here, and success starts with the right gear. And no one does it better than Promar. Based in SoCal, Promar's Ambush Series hoop nets and accessories are trusted by the most dedicated lobster fishermen on the coast. If you're a serious lobster fisherman or a beginner, Promar makes the gear and shares the information you need to be successful on the water. Promar, the name behind more lobster limits than any other. Visit PromarIE.com to gear up today.
Don't be the last one to get one, especially now. The new Brutus Pacific Pro from Ace Line Hauler. You can catch more lobster and pull deeper with the Ace Line Hauler, so you can get those bugs in the boat. Easy to store and low-powered draw. The Ace Line Hauler is the highest quality and certainly the best on the market. Just ask a friend that has one. Get the new Brutus Pacific Pro by Ace Line Hauler today. Buy now at better fishing stores near you.
The fish are biting and it's time to go. Hi, this is Ben, and you will see me at my dad's shop, Dana Landing in Mission Bay, or maybe in front of the shop on my kayak. It doesn't matter if you are out there on a kayak with me, on your boat, headed out on a sport boat. Dana Landing has everything you need. We call it the one-stop shop for a great day on the water because it truly is. Food, bait, tackle, beverages, and more. Our tackle shop, headed by John, is certainly one of the best. For freshwater tackle, nothing beats East County Bait and Tackle. These guys have the best rods and reels and the hottest lures and live bait. Our newest shop is Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle with a great stock of both fresh and saltwater tackle right in the heart of Lemon Grove. ECBT is at the end of the 67 freeway on Mapleview and Lakeside. Lemon Grove Bait and Tackle, 94 to Broadway in Lemon Grove, and Dana Landing is next to the Dana Lawn Tramp in Mission Bay. Check out danalanding.com for more details.
The reels that Southern California anglers have been waiting for are here. Shimano is proud to introduce the all-new Talica 40A and 50A reels. The Talica series is Shimano's flagship 2-speed lever drag reel. It sits at the very pinnacle of the offshore world. Shimano has increased the fishability of the larger Talica models by reducing rotational resistance at high drag and improving durability in critical positions within the reel. The all-new Talica 40A and 50A now boast Infinity Drive, which employs 2 drag washers housed on the side of the reel, allowing for an ultra-smooth, powerful drag system, while at the same time increasing winding power under a load by as much as 40%. The new Talica is built around a more compact, cold-forged machine aluminum one-piece frame. Plus, there's also a new higher high gear, built with a Southern California angler in mind. The new Talica 40 and 50A are available now at your local Shimano dealer.
Hookup!
accept it.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and just so stoked to be in here with Brian. Good guy, good all-around guy. Shares the information, does it all, and
so much knowledge.
Pretty amazing, man. I mean, we were just talking
and
about,
he's kind of a nice guy too, you know.
Right, kind of, right. But we were talking about live bait fishing, and I mean, it's something that, as a sport fisherman, has to be in your arsenal, right? I mean, that's
You know, I'm gonna tell you. The smallest section at a tackle shop is the most important. The hooks.
And you say the smallest. You say the smallest because
I've been to some walls that aren't the smallest.
Right, but you could fit live bait hooks in
one area,
a 3x3.
Right, but the rest is lures and things like that, right?
Yeah,
and you know, but
all the glitter.
I say the joke I make: the smallest area in the shop is by far the most important.
Come on, it's shiny and it's candy.
Right,
and not everybody can like pendulum cast a bait. Proficiently.
No, and you know, I did recently 3 Saturdays. I call it Casting Academy, the Cigar Aficionados Casting Academy, no charge. So all they had to do was come by 8:30 a.m. Sorry,
where do you do this?
I did this in San Gabriel Valley by my house.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did it. It was a 90-minute session where they would come, and I originally set out to do overhead casting, then underhand casting, and then the underhand snap cast. You remember the old school how we used to cast big 30s and stuff for sardines. What I found is that the overhead pendular cast takes up a lot of that time. So maybe the next ones I'll just do overhead. But my point is that I offered this. It's a 90-minute session. And what I am most proud of is that when the students come, we do 6 at a time only. I know I would love to do more, but you know, to be fair to everyone, I can't teach 12, 20 people at a time, but the 6, that's already pushing it, but I can spend the time needed with them. And when we are done, the 90 minutes is up. I have a little casting nubbin that I have made. It weighs about 14 to 15 grams. So think about this for a minute. A sardine weighs anywhere from 40 to 70. An anchovy is 1.4 to 4. Yes, I'm a nerd.
You got it all figured out.
So, but this guy here is lighter than a sardine, and it's heavier than an anchovy, and it doesn't break windows. And I have the guys go out, and that's what we have tied on. Yesterday, I had one of my students go, "This is way too light. This is probably not going to happen." By the end, it's like, here we go. Whatever he brought, you know, I told them to bring their 25 and 30 pound outfits, and some of them, they're dead set on using their 40 and 50 pounds. So whatever, I'm not gonna say anything. They come out and we have them casting, and they start to understand the pendular cast and why it's so important. See, I actually show them an example. I have them stand quite a bit of ways, and I'll make a snap cast. And when the bait hits the ground, I said, not only can you hear it, right? Because they're going to, right?
How many scales fell off?
So that's why, yeah, exactly. So I said, now your bait. I says, given the bait situation that we had this year, I says, if it's already in bad shape, if you've glittered up the water with scales, you've made a mediocre bait even worse. So I show them then the pendular cast, and I have them listen with their ears to the ground and see how many times it bounces on the pavement. And they're shocked sometimes as well. The pendular cast, think about it for a minute. You know, when Tom Brady throws a foot-long pass, if that football starts to tumble in midair, we have a problem. If a 50-yard pass all of a sudden turns into a 30-yard pass. So the pendular cast, what I teach them, or what I let them know, is you minimize the tumbling. And obviously a sardine, for example, it's doing its thing out there. But by minimizing that tumbling, it enters the water. You maximize the distance, you maximize the forward trajectory that you've created as well. It enters the water nice and gentle.
Less momentum and an easy entry just equates to a healthy bait.
So here's a question. You can hook a bait through the nose. You can collar hook. You can butt hook. You can, there's all the different technique. Do you change your cast based on how you're hooking your fish, your bait?
I will change the amount of, as Frank would say, English that I will put on a cast. I do not change the style of casting. And I will, on one stop, go at when Captain Jim Hughes comes on here, you can ask him how much bait I go through on one stop. I have 5 methods that I like to hook my baits, and I will go through 5 baits until you find the one that works to get the result that I want. So I'm a notorious bait waster. But with that being said, no, I change the amount of English that I will put on the cast, but it is going to be a pendular cast, or it's going to be an underhand cast, not an underhand lob or an underhand drop.
That's what I think a lot of people lose sight of, Brian, is they want to get that long cast. They want to get that long cast, but sometimes if you're not confident, just that underhand, get it 10 feet from the boat. Let the bait swim. Is more important.
Right.
Hey, I bet somebody on hold there knows a little bit about bait fishing. Right?
Absolutely.
Right? We got Brian Woolley from Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, and it's brought to us by Gamakatsu Hooks. And if you like to fish for tuna and you're not using Gamakatsu hooks, you're missing the bites. Their 720 heavy-duty assist hook is the one for the nighttime jigging. For bait fishing, nothing beats the Nautilus circle hook. They come in sizes as small as a number 4 and all the way up to a 6-aught. And for big fish, a Nautilus HD is tough enough but not oversized. See your local dealer or check gamakatsu.com. And good morning, Mr. Brian Woolley. How are you?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning, Brian.
Morning. Good stuff in there.
Yeah, having
Good
fun.
morning. Hey, no better place to learn how to properly cast a bait than a small anchovy on a half-day boat. We tell our guys all the time, master it here, so when you're spending money on a longer trip or something, you're confident, you're comfortable, and you can hit the ground running on those longer trips.
Absolutely true. Absolutely true,
So
man. You
for
guys
us-
back into the kelp,
Yep.
and man, you throw an anchovy after anchovy.
Oh.
It's a blast. It's fun, and you do
Granted,
learn.
it's it's on lighter line, so maybe it's a little easier, but bring something that you're going to be using on that trip, and no one's going to shame you for getting it mastered for sure on one of those trips, no doubt about it. But for us up here, solid week of local action. Our water 71-ish was probably standard for a better part of the week. Our half angler saw some really good sand bass action over the hard bottom spots. Rubber lures, reverse dropper loops, those were like the perfect scenario for those guys. I'd say half ounce to maybe 1 ounce on the lead heads on the swim baits and whatnot. Got that lure mid-water where those sand bass have been hanging out. So there's continued to be some halibut in the mix there as well for the guys at the bottom with the live baits. Those fish, the halibut fish, anywhere from like 5 pounds, just kind of legal fish, to the Current had one the other day that was just over 25 in some shallow zones there. So that halibut's been relevant this whole summer, which has kind of been crazy, but that's definitely been in the mix. The calico bass fishing and the kelp has continued to be really current dependent. Our live bait, like I just said, has been some real nice anchovies. So the fly line fishing has been really fun. Small sliding egg sinkers, 1/8 ounce up to maybe 1/4 ounce, perfect to help get that little extra distance. The guys fishing the rubber lures and the hard baits like the Lucky Crafts, those X-Rap, Rapalas, SP minnows have all been super effective this week as well. I'll tell you the standout lure this week, or multiple lures, was the Alabama rig, the A-rig, man, has just been lights out this week for the guys fishing those on a little bit heavier monofilament or on some braid. So like every cast on the calico bass on those things been really fun. And then some days we've had some nice bonito in the mix as well, biting the live baits and the small metal jigs like the snipers and something similar to that. Twilight fishing has been good too. Same mixed bass fishing with some nice sheephead and a halibut or two as well. And then finally, to wrap it up, the Furies had some great fishing out of Clemente and offshore on some of his 2-day trips this week. At Clemente, some good yellowtail kind of starting to filter in again. That stuff, the stuff they caught this week, they had a decent hit on yesterday's overnight trip. They had 22 fish. That stuff kind of ranged from 8 to 20 pounds. Marcus texted me this morning. He said they're seeing some more fish, a little bit better grade, 20 to 25, 30-pound fish on there, some of it on the live squid as well. And then the calico bass fishing at Clemente has been very good this week, also on that live bait, hard baits, surface iron, all that stuff, catching fish too. And then the anglers wanting to fish near the bottom, catching plenty of whitefish and sheephead on the cut squid and whatnot. And then the Fury on those 2-day trips, a little bit of bluefin in their counts too. Weather was a little bit of an issue for those guys this week on those 2-day trips, but still some bluefin in their counts to keep that relevant and kind of in play as well. So good mix across the board for our fleet this week. Looking forward to another good week here. You guys want to hop on a trip, give us a call. Our number here, 949-496-5794. Of course, you can hit us on the web as well at danawharf.com.
Sounds like it's firing on all cylinders, Brian.
What a great report.
Right?
You got to love
It's
it. Right now, that A-rig you just brought up.
I know.
You have this potential, and this has happened. You pull in that A-rig, and all of a sudden you get not only one fish, but how about this? Barracuda, bonita, and a calico on an A-rig.
Yep.
You want to talk about getting torn up.
Wayne's trying to add some dynamic to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wasn't a fun
We
wasn't
had
a fun
some of that
one.
happen this week. Yeah. Nice mix,
so
multiple
crazy.
bass on it, maybe a bonita in the mix on the A-rig. Yeah, and it's been fun, something different and something cool for the guys to try. So, anyways, that's our report. We'll have another one for you next week, guys.
Awesome.
Well, good stuff, Brian. Appreciate you calling, and look forward to seeing you at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Talk to you next week.
Cool. Okay, have a great week, guys. See ya.
Thanks.
All right. You want to take a caller?
Yeah, take a caller.
Let's do it. How about Robert? Robert calling from Candy Country. Good morning, Robert.
Good morning, guys. Great show as always. I'm going to go off topic a little bit, but with lobster season starting, where can we get information about different harbors? I know, certain ones will let you fish on the inside. Certain harbors, you got to be on the outside. You got to be a certain distance from the break wall. Where can we get that information?
Well, we had obviously Eric Cord on here yesterday talking all
Craig
about
Schumann.
it. And I think every harbor, like you said, it's a little bit different. Like we know San Diego Bay a little bit better than we know Dana Point. But really, Robert, the whole thing with that is to stay out of the navigation lanes. That's number one. And just steer clear of where boats are going to be navigating. And you should be fine. And if you're not, they're going to let you know.
I think, now I'm not sure of this one, but I think the app Fish Legal can help you with that. I'm not 100%, but that one is, as far as I know, very good about telling us where we can fish, what's available, and all of that. And then, unfortunately, the department is building their app; it's just not ready yet.
Right.
And boy, the best thing is talk to the people that fish the area. They know.
Yeah, that's true.
There's people that specifically fish the different harbors, and just talk to them. Talk to them at the ramp. They'll tell you.
Do you lobster fish at all, Brian?
I don't. I lobster eat though.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I think we all could do that one, right? Exactly.
Perfect. Thanks for the call, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Robert. And it's just such a neat resource that we have, right?
Yeah.
And having him on the show yesterday was
man,
pretty cool.
If you did not listen to that show yesterday, it was speed talking about so many different topics.
So much going on.
I mean, it just was, and we tried as best as possible to take as many calls and texts and get it all in there. We could have gone on for 6 hours.
Craig Schumann, did you listen to yesterday's? Craig Schumann, the state biologist. I mean, so much information and so well spoken.
Yeah.
Right? I know. And that's just like today's show, having Brian and having a good time. And we've got a whole nother hour ahead of us. And we're going to be on 97.3 The Fan, YouTube, Facebook Live. We're going to be talking more cigar aficionado when we return on the Let's Talk with Kebab and 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, this is Captain Benny Florentino, owner-operator of Coastal Charters. Just want to announce that I'll be running the Camus 26 hybrid boat from West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa. Hybrid being a center console with bay boat features. The boat features a Michael Peters stepped hull that'll give both myself and my guests a comfortable dry ride. West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa will be carrying the 26 hybrid, 28 hybrid, and also a 34 cat. Heck, they even have some great looking bass boats. But if you have any other questions, feel free to call Nick Kelly or Kyle Mesa at West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa, and we'll see you on the water.
Take it from Captain Benny Florentino. West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa is your source for Camus boats, as well as Parker boats, Yamaha outboards, and now Mercury outboards. Sales and service, the finest you can find. Go see Nick and the guys at West Coast Marine on Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check westcoastmarine.com.
3 kayaks, 6 surfboards, 10 rods, and 1 truck bound for Baja. That's where my brother and I's most recent quest into the Baja Peninsula began, in search of waves, fish, and fun. We are able to transport all the kayaks, rods, and boards without straps due to the easy transportation of the Hobie iTrack inflatable kayaks. We brought a tandem and 2 singles, the I-9 and 11, and they were totally enough to get all 6 of the boys onto some of the best halibut and grouper fishing of their lives. Now, you might be thinking, 3 kayaks? I thought a tandem and 2 singles would only be able to fit 4 people. Well, a simple lawn chair on the back of the kayak was enough to turn the 2 single kayaks into tandems. Catching upwards of 100 fish a day in the mangroves, ranging from 15-pound grouper to tons of legal halibut, we had our fill and headed back to the States. Check out the full video of this trip on our YouTube channel, Fastlane SC, or come by our shop in Mission Bay and check out a Hobie inflatable kayak.
See you soon.
Anyone that's been to the Eastcape knows Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best food and drink in Los Barriles, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top-notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner, Chris, and my buddies when fishing in the Eastcape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's, too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the Eastcape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, Vaquera, booked at BajaSmokies.com, should be your choice. So when you're headed to the Eastcape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
What's up, guys? It's Braden Soprenet. This show's all about you. Your calls, your takes, your voice. Let's talk. Weekdays, 10 to 2 on 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports Station. This program is produced by Let's Talk Hookup. Opinions and offers expressed during this program are not those of Odyssey or 97.3 The Fan. Sometimes they tell some pretty hefty fish stories. We don't know if they're true or not.
And now it's time for more of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. This portion of the show is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup. Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. And by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Here we go. Another great hour of Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's Talk Hookup. Here's Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Mexa, and Cory Sanden.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook Live, YouTube, and 97.3 The Fan. Wayne Kotow here with Cory Sanden in the world headquarters of Fisherman's Landing in Point Loma. Hey, we have the backups running the show again this weekend, and we're talking fishing and what's happening on the water, the catch reports and calls and texters. We have a great guest here in the studio with us, Mr. Brian Nguyen, cigar aficionado, and we're talking fishing, bait, jigs, techniques, and a whole lot more. And we're taking your calls and texts. Cory,
having so much fun, man,
absolutely,
right? And if they want to join in on the, we have one line open. It has been so busy the entire show. We have one line open, and you can get that right now, 833-288-0973, or keep the text rolling through, man. We've had a ton of texts. That's only done through the app. Make sure you leave your name and telephone number, because at the end of the show, we're giving away a full day trip on the San Diego to one lucky caller or texter. We're going to have Brian flip the coin. So
that can't win that.
Right? Exactly. I know. What a bummer, right? Yesterday, we gave away a full day trip on the Liberty. You missed out on that one too. Today is a full day trip on the San Diego with, what do you call this? A prize pack of duckbill.
Providing anglers with tools. Both
there it is, man. Side cutters.
Classes and in a bag. Side cutters, duck bills, rod wraps.
And our buddy Jose Ortega wrapped those up.
Wrap those pliers. Yes, flip side pliers.
Flip side. That's the name of his company.
Yep.
They're cool looking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jose. Yeah, right? Exactly. And thank you, Brian, for bringing them. And
absolutely.
Dude, how busy are the landings this morning, man?
Wow. I always come down early, and I love to walk
some
the
quality fish, too.
Some nice fish coming off.
Yeah.
All the big boats are coming back in, and they're doing
the RP, the Royal Star,
Islander,
the American Angler, all of them.
Yep. The Constitution will be coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, very busy. Quality. It looks like we went from the little schoolie fish. There's some nicer, 80, 100 pounders in there. So
does it get you fired up, Brian?
I'm ready to go. I'm
right?
going next week.
Are you? What boat are you?
On the Cortez.
On the Cortez with Jim.
Yep.
So everybody, we talk about how the fishing prowess that Brian brings to the table. His Medicare business that he does full time. But the one thing that people don't know is Brian loves to cook. Loves to cook.
Is that one of your?
I love to cook. I love to eat. Yeah. I'm like, what? I looked up the definition of Renaissance man. I am not that, but I tell you, I love to cook. I love to eat. I enjoy cigars. I love listening to jazz. I like fireplace.
So Tommy P sent a text in and wanted to know what your favorite cigar was.
I don't have a favorite. I have a lot of them that I enjoy. If I had to pick like a go-to right now, it's been I am still smoking a lot of Davidoffs, but Perdomo is one that I particularly enjoy, and La Flor Dominicana and then some boutique blends. So yeah, you don't want this show to be about tobacco or cigars. I'm telling you, I'm such a geek. It's bad.
It's all right. Tommy P wanted to know, man.
It's bad.
Our biggest friend / geek, man.
Hey, there you go.
So one of the questions that came in on a text is from Dan in Pomona. Can you speak about the benefits of using metered line and a nighttime jigging and the best way to identify the right size and weight of the jig that you use for the bite?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can talk about that metered line. I got to tell you that it's a game changer. You know, if you think about it, maybe if you're just limiting it to jig fishing, that's one thing. But for sinker rig fishing, you're still having to get down to the appropriate depths. You know, and that's where it helps as well. I use it now. I find myself using it. I also like going old school. You know, one of the on my webinar on Thursday that I did, we called it the struggle for a bite. And one of the things that I still enjoy doing, I talk about is there anything wrong with bringing back old myths or older techniques? I still love to this day fishing the yo-yo jig for bluefin, and there is a way. And that's another workshop that I offer, but I'm not going to go on. But there is a way, and I find that the meter works same. You know, there's a big benefit to that.
Every one of these things that come out, the things that we've learned, we are more effectively catching those nighttime bluefin fish because of all the things we've learned.
Yeah.
One, get down to where they're at.
Yeah.
Put it in front of their face and go. Amazingly, they bite.
Yeah.
Oh, got to get down there faster. Heavier jig, the assist hooks, the tungsten jig, get it down there. The metered line, get it down there and go buy them and come back up, but don't bring it all the way back. You know, things we've learned is just amazing.
Yeah.
And this has been going on since 2015.
Yeah.
Every year, something new has innovatively come out to make us better.
Yeah.
Make us more effective on the water. It's been so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, when it first started, those 300 and 400 pounders were here, poppers. Everybody had to have a popper.
Yes, please.
You know, and then we found out that we needed to run the kite. Well, or now we control the kite, right? And then how we did the different yummy flyers and all of that.
The Mad Max thing.
The Mad Max, the trolling, right? Yeah. All of that. Everything has changed. And then we went through how many different types of jig. Not that the other jigs didn't work, but the new jig of the, you know, and it had to be a Katy Perry at one point. Remember? Everybody had a Katy Perry. This has been fun. The thing with the line, though, the metered line has just made us all better because
game changer.
Took that guesswork right out of it.
Yeah.
Well, how many people did that with the Sharpie on the line, and then after about half a session, it's gone.
No, I remember I was so hesitant to make the switch just so you to the colored line. I was fearful. My concern was I could maybe not be able to see it, certain colors, whatever. But so here's what I had to resort to. I would watch the hot stick on the boat at night, and I remember I told you it's a timing thing right now, right? So I would cast in at the same time as him, and I would watch when he would put the reel in gear. So that way I knew. I says, okay, you and I are pretty darn close.
Like I'm watching you.
You know,
I got my eye on you.
I tell you, in one of my seminars, Wayne, you might have heard this line, but I say we walk on the boat as friends and we walk around as spies.
Right.
So,
there's no harm in it, man.
No.
There's no shame.
Well,
whatever it takes to get it bit, man.
But it doesn't matter if you're calico bass fishing.
No.
If you could be on the sand bass grounds. Yeah. There's something and you could be on the tuna grounds, right?
Yeah.
And there's something that's going to work different.
Absolutely.
And possibly better, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not a savvy angler, you're not paying attention,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I mean, you've got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Let's take another call.
We'll talk about paying attention. Let's talk to Doug, the only one in Montebello. Good morning, Doug.
Morning.
I was wondering about the like the Wahoo jigs. How many fish could that thing last with all the teeth marks, you know?
Depends on the jig,
man.
Some of them have no paint on them, you know. I mean, and what we've learned on the Wahoo, if you've watched like Steve Carson and stuff, his seminars, what we've learned is because the Wahoo comes up and bites the jig from the side, we've gone to the longer stick jigs and with the hook at the back. And so what happens is they come up and hit it at the head, and you keep winding until that hook gets them in the side of the jaw. And so those jigs, they last. I mean, like anything else, they get scraped all the way down again. Some of mine don't have any paint on them, but that technique has been gold for
but
me.
Doug, hopefully you're in a good enough bite that you lose it after your third or fourth fish in the same stop, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I'd like to see my jig get so demolished. That'd be a good spot right there.
Yeah, exactly. For
Thanks
sure.
for the call, Doug.
Let's want to go to another caller? Let's go to John. John calling from Colorado Springs. Good morning, John.
Morning, guys. Brian, I'm on Medicare already. Been on it since I had to retire out of my business in the movie industry for 7 years now. But
very good.
Do you know Bob Tanji in San Gabriel?
I'm sorry, who?
Bob Tanji.
Is that if I'm not mistaken, is that Greg Tanji's father?
Yeah. So the first time I bought a CalStar from him was 1989 or so, right?
Uh-huh.
And I've been a CalStar guy fan now for like going on 35 years. But question, I like to fish 65-pound spectra. I get away with 50, and I use a rail rod, and I have knee pads because I'm old and I'm hurt and a little bit disabled, but I usually get down on my knees and use my body as a weight for a fulcrum and just wind with my hand. But my question to you is, can I get away with 50-pound at night?
Oh, 50 instead of 65-pound. Like, I mean, it's kind of wild, isn't it, Brian? Because that's the one line size I noticed the greatest difference in only that 15-pound, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of difference between the 65 and 50 in diameter.
And you're talking about nighttime fishing. When it comes to that bluefin fishing at night, I am almost done with saying that I don't think it'll work, because as soon as you say it, somebody's going to prove you wrong.
Say what doesn't work.
But with that being said, if you have to kind of take a look, your 50 and 65-pound braid, take a look at the size that you are encountering. Now, obviously, I say this another one in my seminar. We can prepare just in case. About how far can you go?
Right.
With that. So if it is straight like 20, maybe fish that are under 80 pounds, under 100 pounds with your 65-pound braid, then you will be just fine. One of the reasons why we use a little bit heavier, we prefer 80-pound braid at night. Is because of the fact that, it's increase in diameter has to mean an increase in something. And that something could come by way of abrasion resistance, anything like that. Unlike when we're on a sport boat, we have man-made obstructions and we have human obstructions that we have to work around. And so every advantage that we can take from our tackle and from our rigging, we darn sure want to make sure that we do that. So if you're encountering nothing but the smaller to mid-grade fish, which is go home and celebrate because you got on one hell of a bite. You did your business in one night, and you can go have some get some other species. But that's my take on it. Will it work? Absolutely. I personally just know, just from my own experience in having to work around all these various obstructions, having a little bit heavier. I tell people my blood pressure is already high. I don't want it to go any higher when I hook into a fish and I'm battling them. So there is you can do it. Just kind of just know what's going on around you. Pay attention to what's biting, and like I said, we can only prepare for so much. For heaven's sake, we can, a 3/4 day in Catalina, you could see 1,000-pound marlin, but I'm not preparing for that.
Right,
right.
But the whole nighttime thing allows you to go heavier line, heavier
Absolutely.
bite leader.
Yeah,
you want to beef that up.
And there are ways if you're looking to lighten up your rig. Number one, take the rods now. We talked about the technology in blanks. One of the things that we take for granted is the technology and materials. The Hypalon is lighter now and somehow stronger. Right. The guides, we don't have the heavy roller guides. The guides are getting lighter and lighter. It seems like every year Fuji has got some new whiz bang technology out there that's making guides really light. Reel seats now are lighter. We find that we used to have to use, I'm going to go back kind of old school. Maybe some of the new rod builders don't remember when AFCO made reel seats.
Absolutely.
We were fishing the ARS-3. We were building rods with an ARS-3M because at that time the rods called for it. But even when the graphiters came out, we would have to put those 3Ms. They're like 26 millimeters. Sorry for the geekdom here, guys, but that's a big reel seat, and it adds weight. Ounces make pounds, right?
Right.
So now you can have your rods built very light, and you don't have to fish big reels either. The Talica 20's a killer in the dark, man. That thing will serve you well.
Today, lighter doesn't mean weaker.
No.
Absolutely.
That's
this
the
tackle
important
that we're
part.
using, when you get into like the slow pitch and fast pitch type rods and stuff, they look like inshore bass rods, literally,
which is crazy,
or even lighter, right? Some of the spinning stuff look like trout rods.
Yeah.
But you do not give up anything.
No.
Right.
No.
And now the reels have caught up. The drag systems on them. The line is much smaller. You do not have to always have a 30 and a 50 wide anymore to go fishing.
Yeah.
Right. I
Look
mean,
at the material.
you look at it, we can put 900 yards on a very small reel now.
They can shave down the hypalon just for the size of your hand in the front foregrip when you're having a rod build.
Yeah.
So you can go in
Customize.
lightweight.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one for sure, John. And we're going to jump back into it and talk to Chuck. Chuck calling from Dana Point. Good morning, Chuck. Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Good morning, man. Good morning. I've been taking notes the whole time.
Right, I am
got
too.
Stuff from way back. That lighter line, though. Why would you jeopardize using that at night if you're going to lose one of your biggest fish? And then when they get tangled, that lighter line is really hard to get out when they get tangles. But the rail rod talking. One of my first rods came with a plate. We used to use them for rock cod fishing, and we were rail rodding way back then.
Yeah,
there was no chance of 4-pound weight and 5 hooks of fish coming up. You were going to do that without a rail rod. So that was one of the first rail rods. So, and then the level wind thing with the speed jigging. That's probably why they like the spinning reel. You don't have to sit there and dedicate a thumb to it. But great show, a lot of info.
Yeah, we were all reminiscing about the old days of rock cod fishing with a 5-pound weight, 5-hook gannion, and the rod plate and the big handle. Right, you had your senator, but then you had that rock cod handle that extended out with the big grip on it. It was like a motorcycle grip on it, and you would sit there and you just wind it up and down. Those were the days.
Oh yeah, the day, buddy. Have a great one, you guys.
All right.
See you on the water.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you, Chuck.
So I got a text here.
Yeah.
All of us, you asked about this. Who was your mentor growing up, right? So now the question came up from Mark and Fallbrook. Brian, tell us about your parents, brothers, sisters. Who was your biggest influence for your success?
Growing up,
I fished with my younger brother. I would say that Danny Salas on the Gale Force.
Really?
Remember Danny Salas on the Gale Force was really big for me. I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna confess right now and share one of like the dumbest stories, and it is true. This is all me here. Okay, when I do my workshops, I tell everyone wherever you are, and as far as your knowledge or your proficiency, don't worry, because I was worse. So I remember as a kid, I don't know why the Penn International case at that time, that was like the only one gold, right? I was like, I used to be enamored by it. I'd be hypnotized by it as a kid, And I don't know what it was, but it was a 30 SW that always stuck out to me. It would just like sing to me.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted it. And at that time, the pricing then was, not even close. It's so far away from what it is now. But anyway, I went and bought one, and I would bring it on. I brought it on to a Twilight trip, and I thought I was so cool. But that was only me,
right?
And you were sporting bling on a Twilight trip.
Yeah.
But you were in your own world, having a great time.
I was,
and nurturing. Who you are today.
Yep. And then he didn't, without passing judgment or anything like that, he just simply said, "You want to pay attention to, you want to know what we're targeting, and that way you can start to build your gear around that. You know what you're targeting, the types of trips that you're going on, and you build your gear around that." And so it was from that I learned what is appropriate tackle. It's not to say that my 30th W, I would have rocked the sand bass's world,
right.
But it was tough to tie the 60-pound, tie a dropper loop on 60-pound test Andy, and sending it down there and not getting bites and things like that. But so he was one. But my brother and I, we fished a lot together, and we pushed each other. There was trips where I would beat him, and there were trips he would beat me, but it was all in good fun. And we didn't have just funny we were talking about that, because we didn't have, I would have loved to have had a coach. I would have loved to have had one-on-one. So that's why I base everything that I want and what I wanted and what I needed. I mean, both you guys, we just talked about this. Did you learn from experience? Did you you have an actual coach going with you step by step? So I am now, I guess I'll make the announcement here, but I am now offering a free one-on-one coaching session for anglers. It's saltwater sport boat talk. I don't talk private boat. The techniques can be similar, but I don't understand like the boat maneuvering. I'll leave that to Mr. Cory Sanden here. But
I don't know about me,
but I am offering that now. It's going to be posted on my social media tomorrow, but it is a one-on-one private session. You bring it up. You have whatever it is, rigging, you want trip preparation, jigging, poppers, whatever you want to know. I will answer that to the best of my ability, and it's going to be answered to you from a very personal level.
That's
How
huge.
about that?
That's huge.
Right? I mean, that's pretty cool.
It was hard because growing up, we didn't, depending on where you lived, if you didn't have that local tackle store, Gardena boys had really good talent, right there in Gardena and stuff. But there was other ones down the coastline. But if you didn't have access to it, you didn't have a car. You didn't have access to that. If you weren't lucky enough to grow up at the beach, the Dave Hansons that could get on the boats because, the San Clemente Pier, all that kind of stuff. We didn't have the money. We didn't have we didn't get that kind of training.
Yeah. We did everything for me. Again, experience.
Yeah.
I thought I could cast when I was younger. I went on a trip and Barry Breitenberg was fishing the surface iron, and I know people knew him for the fish trap, but he's a very good surface iron fisherman.
Surface iron.
And I watched him cast, and I looked at the mechanics of it, and I said, I think I'm going to try that. And I'm telling you right now, if you guys come up with a better way tomorrow, I'm in.
Right.
So, and I tried it and I worked at it, and here I am today. Am I any good? I have no clue, but I am teaching people. Well, I know how to cast, but I am happy to teach people that portion of it. But like I said, this one-on-one thing, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do it via video chat.
How do they get in on it? I mean,
they're going to have to first follow me on my social media. That's where it's going to be posted, and there's going to be I'm going to clarify how to qualify for it. It costs them nothing. Just so you know, it costs you nothing. You get 45 minutes of my time one-on-one on a video call, and you can ask me whatever you want. That's fishing related.
Right? Exactly.
That's fishing related, but
what about cigars and cooking, man?
Well, we can do that too if you but use your 45 minutes wisely.
That's awesome opportunity. I'm telling you, we are very fortunate today because we have all of these tools available to learn and experience and to get the knowledge from people. You go out on YouTube, you Google anything, you expect to find it now. And we didn't have that growing up, right? So I take advantage of this.
But at the same time, guys, there is, we're in a society of wanting short answers.
Yeah.
I can't do Twitter answers. You ask me about like, hey Brian, what size, what kind of hooks do you use for fly lining sardines? But you're gonna get like at least 5 minutes here because I personally don't get anything from a Twitter answer. Remember how many text messages I would send you about your slugs?
Yeah.
I'm almost like, and every time I would apologize. I don't know if you remember that. Hey, Cory, sorry. I'm sorry to bug you. But there is no Twitter
answer.
So
simple, right?
Yeah. There is.
You know why there's a wall of hooks? Because they all are specific to a technique, a style, a fish.
Yeah.
And it's very important. It's using the right tool for the job at the right time. Learning that is so important to being a more successful angler.
And that's why fishing clubs, you tell me, they go, Brian, you have 20 minutes. I was like, I don't talk product. I'm not, but but that's why that's how I like to conduct myself. So
I'm
with you. I'm with you on that one.
And you're willing to give it up and share.
Absolutely.
And it's your benefit, I mean, you work for Medi-Cal, like you work on connecting people with Medi-Cal.
Yeah.
Like that's where
Medi-Cal, Medicare, you name it. But this is it. I just anything that I can do to help. I enjoy. I love this. I love it.
The passion shows.
Yeah.
I know somebody else that likes to share and share information. That's Yusef Hosseini. We've got him on the hold here. And the fishdope.com report with Yusef Hosseini, the Angler's Realtor, is brought to us by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego, and it's where you get your premier processing experience. You can check out their easier online system to book your processing for your long-range trips. And they've also added more team members at Fisherman's Processing, so they stay far ahead of the rest and offer the fastest service as well and more same-day capacity. And you can stop by the location of Old Town on Taylor Street, or just check them out at fishermansprocessing.com and make your reservations today. And we're going to say good morning to Yusef Hosseini with the Angler's Realtor. Good morning.
Morning, Yusef.
Hey, good morning, guys. How we doing today?
Excellent.
Doing good. Excited to hear the report from the Channel Islands all the way down to here. And I mean, this tropical weather, has it changed the bite? I mean, I'll tell you this, the fish coming in this morning, the boats, Yusef, looks like some pretty good fishing.
Yep. Yeah, our fishing down south here is really good. I'm going to start up north, Santa Cruz area, Anacapa. It's still pretty good fishing up there for halibut right now. The weather is just wreaking havoc, though. I mean, kind of a normal deal up there, but it's been pretty rough. There was a guy Danny told me about that took squid from Cat over to Anacapa and just crushed them. So the fish are still there, that's for sure. St. Nick has sea bass and halibut biting. Front side of Catalina is still biting. Everything's biting. The 3Bs. There's some smaller yellows showing up. There's decent schools of bigger yellows as well, just showing up in chum lines that won't bite. Sea lions are a little tough right now over there on the front side. San Clemente, same gig. Nighttime fishing. There's yellowtail at the caves. As soon as the sun comes up, they want nothing to do with it. The front side of Clemente as well has had some really good action on the 3Bs. It's kind of everything's biting over there. This last week, La Jolla bit really well. There were some good sized yellowtail and a few sea bass in the half day counts. Sea bass and yellowtail were popping up last week in little spots. It bit good for probably 2 days. Crystal Pier area has squid again. There's a little bed over there. There is some sea bass coming off of that as well. Some of the local guys. Coronado Islands is picking up a little bit. Yellowtail are kind of on and off as far as the bite goes. The sport boats are getting them a little better because of all the bait they have. There are some bluefin lurking in the area as well. The rock pile area as well is some decent yellowtail fishing when they come up. A lot of them are on meter. Going offshore, well, the fat lady's finally singing here. We're getting bluefin and some yellowfin mixed in basically on all of our banks, from the 181 to the 9 Mile bank, 302, 371 area, and these are super mixed grade fish. There's 20 pounders up to 150 pounders. Guy yesterday got one on a Mad Mac, I think 150.
Wow.
Just below the rock pile, I think too.
Whoa.
So
Inside.
there's big schools. Yeah, there's big schools of fish out on our banks right now. Like this is the real fishing. It seems like it's finally coming.
I agree with you. I mean, Yusef, it just seems like, I don't know, could we say it's like almost a month behind? Like
6 weeks, yeah.
Like this tropical weather and the balminess.
It finally got pushed up. Remember what we said? We were waiting for the weather. Now we've had 2 storms coming. We got another one coming this week or today, I guess.
Right.
Pushing stuff. It's pushing the fish north.
Yeah, I mean, with this stuff,
It
just
seems like it.
Just entering our local banks here and having that mix of yellowfin, man, it's sure sweet to see.
It's interesting to see the water shifting up and down too, though. We could drop 5 degrees in a day, right, overnight. But that's that upwelling that happens with the storms.
This could go away really fast.
No, there's plenty of fish out there. There's so
bring it
much
on.
bait. There's so much bait. They're going to stick around because that's what they're going to do is eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Exciting report, man. All the way down the coastline. That's a great report.
How's everything going on in the real estate world? I know with that minor drop that finally the first one in 9 months might,
and a couple more planned behind them.
Right. I mean, that should spark some greater activity. Yeah.
Definitely. That was kind of a short-term interest rate cut. You're not going to see it as much on the mortgage side for a while. Speculation is what's been driving the rates down, because they know that the Fed's going to drop them over the next couple of years here, or the next few months here, that big banks and that kind of thing have been speculating. But yes, we are seeing the rate moving. It's really weird right now. The rate has been bouncing up and down, but in the next 2-3 weeks, we should see some decent drops. We are getting rates, for FHA into the 5s right now.
That's awesome.
It's coming as far as the market goes, and the interest rates coming with it. And you guys should see houses moving really good here again in the next month or so.
Well, it's awesome to hear. And I know there's nobody more kind and deeper in the industry than you, and super friendly with fishermen. And how do they get a hold of you, Yusuf, if that's the direction?
You can get me on my cell phone, 619-277-2169. You can also get me on my website at sportsmansrealty.com. If you need a free home evaluation, you can go to SoCalHomeEval.com, and we'll send you an auto evaluation.
And that number is the same one for the beef too, yeah?
They can call me on my cell phone for the beef as well, definitely. Naturefedbeef.com. If you want to order, you can hop on there. We do have quarters in stock right now. And we'll deliver them right to your door within a week.
And a little discount for the hookup crowd, right?
Right.
Let's Talk Hookup.
You got it. Yeah. So if you end up using the code the code Hookup, you get $250 off of any order on the website there.
And there's something I want to add to that too, Yusuf, because there's a lot of organic, quote unquote organic beef, and they add the grass fed, the quote unquote grass fed. But when they say grass finished, it's a whole different thing, and that's what adds to what you're working with. And so whatever you're looking at in that organic world, it's not just the organic fed, but the organic finished. Correct?
Exactly. And most grass fed, even grass finished now, you can feed them as long as you fed them grass within 6 months, it's considered grass finished.
Thank you.
So what we do is the real deal with old cowboys that are running cows through the Klamath Basin and in Northern California. These things eat just grass all year. We fatten them on potatoes, and then they get slaughtered. It's about as natural as it gets.
It gets no sweeter. Give your number again, because that's some good information, Yusuf.
It's 619-277-2169. If you'd like some quality beef, hit me up.
All right, there it is. Appreciate your fishdope.com report. And we're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. We're going to have more with Brian Nguyen and all this jigging. And I know he loves Calico too. When we return on not only the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, but 97.3 The Fan.
When you're pursuing big game fish, the right gear is essential. Not just the rod, reel, and line, but the right pair of binoculars too. So upgrade your gear to the best pair of Fujinon stabilized binoculars from Baker Marine. Baker Marine has been selling binoculars for decades, and more importantly, they service all brands right there at their San Diego Shelter Island location. Need the best? Fujinon Stabiscopes are the professional's choice. Looking for top-tier stabilization at a great price? The Fujinon TechnoStabi TSX 1440s deliver rock-steady vision, even in rough waters, perfect for serious anglers. Baker Marine is the largest Fujinon retailer on the West Coast, and when you buy from them, they'll be there when your binoculars need service. Plus, they'll give you a great price on all in-stock Fujinon binoculars. Stop by their store on Shelter Island in San Diego and test a pair of Fujinon binoculars and see which ones are right for you. They even have compact and lightweight Fujinon stabilized binoculars for your next vacation or hunting trip. You know you need a pair of stabilized binoculars, so get them from the experts at Baker Marine. Learn more at bakermarine.com.
This is Duke Ekstrom from the Royal Star. In 1983, a group of intrepid anglers envisioned crafting the best sunglasses on the water. It's true now as it was then. Costa's performance frames excel in the toughest of elements. These styles are packed with functional features that create a competitive advantage for any adventure on the water. From the lake to offshore, Costa's Performance Collection has a legacy of helping anglers stay on the water longer. Learn more at costadelmar.com.
This is Rock Cod Rick for Adventure and Camping, where they bring the adventure to you. If you enjoy camping in the Eastern Sierra but don't own an RV or a trailer, or simply don't want the hassle, let Adventure and Camping park it for you.
Check out their website, adventureincamping.com. Select from over 75 campgrounds they serve. Decide on a trailer floor plan that fits your needs. Request a quote for your desired vacation dates. Then just show up and start your adventure. Adventure in Camping makes it so simple. They deliver the trailer to your spot and you enjoy a clean, spacious trailer. When it comes time to go home, just close the door and drive away. It doesn't get any easier. If you enjoy camping in the Eastern Sierra but don't want the hassle, Adventure in Camping is for you. Check out adventureincamping.com for details. Make sure you mention that Rock Cod Rick sent you for a special price. adventureincamping.com.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from, and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing to the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
Take a closer look at the Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport. You'll see adventure, discovery, and even a little mud. These 4x4s provide the muscle, tech, and durability to go anywhere. Get your ideal combination of power and capability to handle whatever comes your way with the GOAT modes. That's goes over any terrain. It's time to see Ford in a new light. New inventory has arrived. Visit your San Diego County Ford dealer to take a test drive today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and having so much fun in the studio and hearing that report from Youssef Husseini at with BD Outdoors there. I want to remind you that with fishdope.com, you can actually sign up. You save $30, Brian, if you sign up with Hookup Now, and that's all lowercase, no space, Hookup Now. And that'll get you, a full year subscription for $30 off.
Yeah, great. Hey, let's take a call. It looks like we have Arnie and Vista on the line.
Let's do that. Good morning,
What's
Arnie.
up, Arnie?
Hey, good morning, Wayne, Cory, and Brian. How you guys doing? It's a great
Awesome.
show this morning. So
Yeah,
far.
we're learning a lot, man. Are you learning as much as we are?
Oh yeah, I tell you what, I learned a lot from Brian. Brian was down this year, did a seminar for me down at San Diego Rod and Reel Club. It was a great seminar because it's not just teaching us about the jig fishing. I mean, it's little tweaks and technique that help you get the advantage on the fish. Remember that, Brian?
I absolutely remember that. Your group was very kind, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, you're very welcome. It was great. Everybody enjoyed your seminar, and I think everybody walked away at least learning a couple things that night. I mean, don't worry about talking long. I let you talk pretty much almost as long as you wanted.
I think
everybody was glued to your attention to what you were saying to us.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we had most of the seats were filled on that one, and standing room.
That's
Had a lot
awesome.
of fun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it was a full room.
Yep.
So yeah.
Well,
thanks again, and then I tell you what, anybody out there, if you want to learn something, see him at the shows, see him at any one of these seminars that he goes out to different clubs, and then just give him a call. And then he has good information on Medicare too for you guys that are that age.
Right? How about that?
Thank you, Arnie.
These classes that you offer, Brian, like the 6 only for casting, and I mean, we can all benefit from practicing.
I'm going to tell you right now, we got to put the sport back into sport fishing.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Fishing, I looked it up. I'm not kidding you. I looked it up on Google, of course. I looked it up. Fishing is a noun. Sport fishing is a verb.
Yeah.
And there is a big difference between the two, obviously. And where are we right now as far as, as anglers? Do we stop learning? Are we, a good angler, no matter where they're at, no matter what level they believe they are at, always
are learning.
Yeah. I did one
right?
I did one called I called it Fly Lining Factuals, and I'm using my my friend and former colleague Pete Haynes's line, 10% of anglers catch 90% of the fish. I remember putting this up online, and of all people, David Choate, whom you guys know, legendary long range angler, sends me a message and goes, "Got room?"
Wahoo Dan.
Yeah. Ask me if I have any room. I go, "What do you want room for? You want to teach it?" And said, I'll sit down and listen to you. And he goes, "Well, if I can make it, I will, because any little bit of information that I can get, I'm going for it." And I was like, wow. So casting, that's why, we do this, and we do it more on that personal level. And then now everybody owns surface iron, and people want to fish them, but where are we with that? Do we have it? Not a lot of us can go to the pristine waters and pay the extra expense to go and just be in have all that fish readily available to us. So now, when it comes to how we do it on our Southern California sport boats, which I have a big heart for, we have to figure something out. And what I am doing now, I believe the date, we're 98% there, but on October 11th. I believe that is a Saturday, I think. Anyway, one of those.
How do we get involved? I mean, how does one like?
Well, they would take a look at my post, because we're going to be doing a surface iron casting academy. So you'll bring your jig stick 8 to 10 feet, and we have our props, we have the casting plugs, the practice casting plugs, similar to surface iron, and we're going to be doing that on October. I think it's October 11. Don't quote me on it. But just follow me on Instagram at the Cigar Aficionado.
Up to how many people?
6.
That's
it. That's it.
So, like,
they get the full on.
It's a casting seminar, but it's specialized for surface.
That's
I could see you have more than 60 people.
I wish that I could do that, but yeah.
But I understand the one-on-one instruction, because as you're throwing, he's going to tell you your ergonomics and your hand placement and your thumb placement, and there's so many dynamics of that. Everybody's got a bad habit of some kind that you need to correct. Right?
I'm all about bad habits, man.
Yeah, trust me. I'm that guy. Yeah. And I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. Never stop learning.
Yeah.
I am a fan. I am a fan of this sport. I love learning. I travel across the country and now around the world. I will always look for that new tidbit of something. And we take ours with us. The stuff that we do here is so innovative. And when we go someplace, you go, "What do you mean you don't have a jig stick? What do you mean you don't have a surface iron? What do you mean you don't have a plastic, a swim bait, a this or that?" So, or back then, a mega bait, right? Or a crocodile, right? Those things I thought were universal around the world, and they're not, but they work around the world.
Right,
that's
exactly.
what's nice.
I mean, that's what's amazing.
I love it.
But Wayne, to have the knowledge like Brian Nguyen here, and to want to share it. And he's not with a fishing
He's not
company
sponsored.
longer.
I'm not sponsored.
He's
That's
not
my
sponsored.
choice.
And here's the crazy thing. You drove this morning.
Yeah.
From where?
From San Gabriel Valley, where I live.
Like, just compute that. I mean, that's a minimal 2-hour drive. Here, I have a thing for you. On the way out, you could stop at Summit Gasoline.
Okay.
There
you go.
And Summit Gasoline, let me read this here. Summit Gasoline San Diego Sports Arena is a place to fill up your car, truck, and boat with the lowest gas and diesel prices. And check this out, Brian. Did you know it's also the place to get your lowest price on snacks for your trip? You can stop there. They have 40 snacks, all for 89 cents, as well as an assortment of frozen baits and ice too. Ice is nearly half the price of other places. And check this one out, Brian. If you purchase, you ready for this one? 35 gallons of fuel, you'll get 100 pounds of free ice.
Nice.
Can you believe that one? Right, exactly. It's only at the San Diego Sports Arena. So it's actually on your way to the freeway.
Yep.
Summit Gasoline.
I know where it is.
And they're still the cheapest up and down Rosecrans. I just filled up this morning. On top of that, go in and say hi to Martha and the boys. They take care of you. And $6 car wash in the back.
It is.
Nothing's cheaper. And
Done
they're
deal.
great. It's all good.
Simple.
So here's a good question for you. When do you switch, or when do you suggest fast pitch versus slow pitch?
Okay. So that's a very good question, because slow pitch imitates that of a dying bait fish. And then your speed jigging is going to imitate that of a fleeting bait fish.
So nicely put.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so easy to understand that one.
Yeah. So it all depends. Certain fish require that jig to be in its face for a lot longer. For example, like or the overall way that we fish them. So the slow pitch jigging, you'll find that you have opportunities with yellows, with sea bass, with rockfish, of course, which is I think what everybody kind of has become generally accepted technique for that.
But it works.
But it works, and it works very well.
And I think, Brian, I think that works for me. I didn't even know I was slow pitch jigging.
Yeah.
I had no idea the term, right?
Yeah.
But when they're not biting,
it
almost that dance almost forces them to bite. And it's not the 1 pound red. It's
no.
It's usually the 3 or 4 pound.
That's right. So that's slow. But when we start targeting species that are on the move, more of your yellows, that in many ways, tuna, of course, wahoo and things like that. That's where the speed jigging, the longer slender jigs where you can move them quick, obviously like a fleeting bait fish. So those would be that's more, I guess, offshore. You'll tend to do more of the speed jigging, and then coastal or any fishing, any type of structure and things like that. That's where you'll be slow pitching. And I'll tell you this about the cod fishing, because I absolutely love it. And there's, one of the things that I tend to stay away from, I have found that when on codfish, I don't know about you guys, but I'll fish any color as long as the chartreuse. Sometimes I find that on any chartreuse, I get a lot more junk.
Really?
On a chartreuse, especially when you're slow.
Junk being a smaller fish or the flea cod.
Just things like you don't want where the crew will say, "Oh, we throw that one back." But I fish. I like.
That's funny.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. It's anything that has chartreuse when I fish cod. You won't see anything chartreuse in my box.
Interesting.
Yeah, and but you just get you'll get a lot more. There's nothing wrong with them. I like to eat them, but some people don't.
You felt the same way as you went down the coast, down the Baja coast. Because I actually love the chartreuse as I go down the Baja coast.
I don't.
I like bright.
Yeah, I have not. I find that the darker colors. I get I'm a real diva when it comes to cod. I love eating them, and there's specific ones that I target that I want, and there's ones that I don't want.
Well, you got to share that with us. I want to learn.
Yeah, so I don't fish. I love those. I love bank perch, reds. Chuckles, not chucks. I'm not so keen on.
Okay.
I love lingcod, which is not a rockfish, if I'm not mistaken.
No,
right?
but it's
still,
you're still.
Yeah, but that's, and I find that when anything that has chartreuse, I swear.
You should have seen what came off yesterday. There was a lot of pargo coming off one of the boats.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of pargo. You don't normally see that, right?
Very interesting.
A lot of reds came off today, but no, I didn't see any pargo today. So it's specific to where that zone they were fishing.
But I hope that answers that question, because that's when I would use when it's slow. So there is it's all about the presentation and whatever it is that's the species that you are after. Look at how they move. Look at how they feed. Look at where they are, and that will tell you.
Explains a lot.
Yep.
It's very interesting though, because we're using our heavy jigs and going down for yellowtail, and we're burning them back up, right? And we're speed jigging those things. It never fails. You bird nest one, and that you're picking it out, and your jig is sitting on the bottom, and then that yellowtail comes by and picks you up.
Yeah,
it's dead in the water. It's on the bottom.
So funny.
Yeah, it's so weird how that is. So you're expecting this speed reaction bite, and that happens. But sometimes it's not. It's that opposite. It's what you say.
Well, there are speed jigs out there that are designed. They're wider in profile, just a little bit wider. They have a flatter side to them. Like one of them would be like the West Coast Jigger's Speedy Jig. When you take a look at it, we got some music playing, but
where's that?
Where's that coming from?
It's actually his new phone system.
There you go.
Thank you, Pete. Yeah, Pete's new phone system.
Where's that coming from? Yeah, but that West Coast Jigger Speedy Jig, is definitely one. It's got a flatter side to it, and you can fish it a little slower. So
I love live radio. Man. It's so much fun.
It happens, guys. Dude, I did my webinar a couple of weeks ago, and we had a little bit of a problem. I think I poured. The first thing is that we didn't get sound. The second thing is I shouldn't have poured a second glass of tequila. Because I was like feeling it after that. But
so Brian, I mean, I know we're talking jigging, and we went through all that, but I have to ask. So you give these classes and you do all this, but how do you now? you're doing webinars also. Like, how many people can join in on that one?
If you follow me on Instagram, you can join in. I'm not on YouTube just because it already is hard for me to
You're just
learn
trying to
Instagram.
simplify things for yourself.
That's it. And so I do it on Instagram. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, again, at the Cigar Aficionado, efficient, AFISHINADO. And you follow me on there, I'll have all these things up, including the upcoming workshops, the upcoming one-on-one series that I'm doing for you, one-on-one sport fishing coaching series that I'm offering, the surface iron casting clinic, and whatever else I have to get myself into.
But on the webinar, you can have an infinite amount of people.
That's right. As long as they follow on Instagram, they're golden. Just
dude,
when they see live,
I want to join just to hang out with you, man.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Hey, we have actually open lines, 833-288-0973. If you want to get on a call, we still have a few minutes left, but I got a good one to follow up on this one. My 10-year-old grandson is a new angler and loves it. Is he the right age to get him started on speed jigging? Thanks, Mark from La Quinta.
There is no age requirement on it, and you're welcome to just make sure that you understand. Again, start slow. There is a method to practicing the actual the mechanical jigging motion that I have been teaching folks. I tie off to something pretty heavy, and I will back off the drag on my jigging setup, and I will just you can practice the motion anyway. You won't have the jig action or anything like that, but that might be I might just put that up on Instagram tomorrow then on how to practice the mechanical jigging. But yes, there is no particular age. You just as long as you understand the proper cadence. The tackle is the easy part, honestly. That you can just pick off the data. But as far as the cadence is concerned, you have to understand that, because one of the things you don't want to have happen is to have the hooks catching onto your line and getting all tangled. Another thing that guys have a tendency to do when they're starting out is they forget that you do have to guide the line onto a conventional reel, but just not a full-time effort. Because if you are dropping down into the zone 150 feet, you've got a lot of line out already. And if you're going 10 pumps into it, you're not filling up your reel to a point where it becomes a problem. So I don't actually guide my line on at that point. The only time you'll see me guide my line on is the worst part of deep fishing, which is when the captain says to wind them up.
Right.
That's when I will pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But
the reason I assume you're not paying so much attention while you're working it, because Jim Hughes might tell you, hey, they're down at 30 fathom. Yeah. Okay, drop down to 30 fathom.
That's it.
And you're going to wind up 60 feet.
It.
Up
at most.
Right?
Yeah.
So from 30 fathom up to 20, and you're going to drop it back down.
Yeah.
Dropping it down on a reel is controlled drop, right? Yeah. It's not the same as casting, where you really need to watch it to level wind it more, because you don't want it to stack.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's what I find.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're just dropping straight up and down,
well,
as long as you don't stack it too much and stop the spool. Right?
Did you guys know a funny thing about those vertical jigs? You know that if you put thumb pressure on them, it allows them to sink faster. And if you just free up on them, they have a flutter.
The flutter.
It's weird, right? You would just think if you just try to let it go as free as possible.
It's not true.
But very interesting.
Right. I noticed that too. So we got this other text coming in right here. Brian, so glad you're on the show. Been trying to get onto one of your workshops. Hopefully we'll get in one soon. Question, what are your go-to yellowtail jigging setups, and is there a certain depth that you pull that out versus fly lining, yo-yo, and etc.? Thanks so much, Rudy in Carlsbad.
From a vertical jigging standpoint with the yellows, I find that I don't like the knife jigs. I haven't had that much luck with them. I find I want a jig with a little bit wider of a profile. I find that it does keep it in their faces for a little bit longer. Where I've had the most success with the vertical jigging locally is on the squid grounds. If there's for me on the vertical jigging, if there's an opportunity to fish them on a dropper loop, that's when you see the vertical jigging come out from a local standpoint. Otherwise, I'm still 6X Junior, Tatty A2, Tatty 9, stuff like that is what I fish a lot. But that's when I find, for me personally, in my experience, the vertical jigging lends itself really well when you are fishing a yellowtail on the dropper loop. Right. It's a little definitely different because it's not the bait and weight. It's going out and trying to make something happen, and they clobber them. Especially like the original the Shimano Butterfly.
Yes.
When I first in 2005, when we worked that into the West Coast here. That jig, that style of a jig for yellows is deadly, and as I mentioned earlier before the phone rang, but that West Coast Jigger Speedy jig, the 150 gram, that thing's a killer too. So take a look at those profiles, and you'll see what I mean. It's not a traditional knife jig, longer, slender, sharp. So
very interesting for sure. Yeah, so many texts coming through, and this text here really applies to everything we're doing, and great show. You guys, Brian's energy is infectious, which of course it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you.
That's why we love Brian. Brian, what's your favorite connection knot to jigs at night, and what's your thoughts on the chain knot? And that comes from Cory and Escondido.
Very, very good question. I do tie the chain knot on the vertical jigging anyway, because of the fact that there's some of the benefits. You get that added 1 inch of chafe protection. It's like a plate knot when you take a look at it. So you get about an inch worth of chafe protection, which I had one time where I saw one of those links on the chain knot completely severed, and then I still was able to bring that fish up. It took a jig.
So it was in the middle of the knot.
Yeah. But and also you find that it's shock absorption. See, most people, I said this in a seminar once, and the guy goes, "Well, he must have hulking arms," but that the shock absorption alone, we have no idea how they bite and how hard. We fish heavier drag.
It's a shock cord.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, 2 hours is not enough, but I can tell you this: when we come back, we're going to find out who's won the full day trip on the San Diego and this flyer package when we return, not only on the Let's Talk Hookup app, YouTube, Facebook Live, but 97.3 The Fan.
Looking for the ultimate Alaska fishing experience and the best value in Alaska? Look no further than Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. A trip to Kingfisher includes everything you need to make your experience legendary. The finest fishing fleet in Sitka with the best captains, deluxe accommodations, gourmet food, world-class fish processing, and the best part, it's all included for one amazing price. Kingfisher is Let's Talk Hookup's most popular destination. Hundreds of listeners have experienced Kingfisher Charters, and most go back again and again. You have probably heard a lot of big promises from other Alaska lodges, only to find there were lots of hidden charges. Not Kingfisher. Everything is included. 10-hour fishing days, your license, fish processing, super deluxe accommodations, amazing food, airport transfers, and fishing gear. All you bring is your layer clothing, and Kingfisher covers the rest. Kingfisher Charters, your Alaska fishing destination. 800-727-6136 or check kingfishercharters.com.
The name that stands out among anglers is Fisherman's Landing, your top choice in local and long-range fishing. Our hardworking crew will make your fishing experience one to remember. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. Fisherman's Landing is a full-service sport fishing operation offering great half-day trips on the Dolphin and full-day trips on the spacious and comfortable 85-foot Liberty. With bunks for your comfort, a huge bait capacity, and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Fisherman's Landing also boasts the best captains and crews in the business, from seasoned veterans to our young future legends. All our open party trips from half-day, full, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Anyone that's been to the East Cape knows Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best food and drink in Los Barriles, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top-notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner, Chris, and my buddies when fishing in the East Cape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's, too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the East Cape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, Vaquera booked at BajaSmokies.com should be your choice. So when you're headed to the East Cape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Brian's going to flip the prize coin, see who wins a full-day trip on to San Diego. Let it hit the deck there. Oh,
no!
Texter. And the texter today is Mark from La Quinta.
Wow, congratulations, boy. What a great show. 2 hours, again, is not enough. So much to share. We are just having so much fun. Hey, real quick, go to Let's Talk Hookup Facebook page. Eric Sheets and his son Trevor, they were over at PEI, caught a 752-pound fish. Go look at the post there, and hey, congratulations to you guys. They're on their way back, flying right now. I think they're over Colorado about right now.
Wow.
And thanks to everybody, right, for listening, calling, and all the texting today. Thanks to Jeff at the Fan, Adam, and the Let's Talk Hookup app. Brian, wealth of knowledge.
Thank you.
How do we follow you, man? All this good stuff.
Like I said, website, I made it easy. MHLIS.com, or you guys can follow me, or I hope that you would follow me on Instagram at The Cigar Aficionado. And what you'll see on there is all the postings of all the workshops that I have upcoming, all the webinars, and any of my appearances anywhere. So thank you
Brian,
very much,
you are
guys.
a good guy in this industry, man.
Yeah, and make sure you guys sign up for those workshops, passing off all that information. Hey, next week, we're going to have Rosie Flowers from Cedro Sport Fishing on Saturday. Sunday, we got Captain Jim Elkstrom and Duke from the Royal Star. Come listen to us on 97.3 The Fan, Let's Talk Hookup app, Facebook, and YouTube Live. We'll see you guys next week.
This is Manny Machado.
Lined and caught at third by Machado.
The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Odyssey Sports Station.